Hermes, Mercury. Zeus was his father, and Maia, daughter of Atlas, his mother. Because of a very popular statue, his appearance is far more familiar to us than that of any other god. He was graceful and swift of motion. On his feet were winged sandals. Wings were on his low-crowned hat, too, and on his magic wand, the caduceus. He was Zeus's messenger, who flies as fleet as thought to do his bidding. Of all the gods, he was the shrewdest and most cunning. In fact, he was the master thief, who started upon his career before he was a day old. The babe born at the break of day, and ere the night fell, he had stolen away Apollo's herds. Zeus made him give them back, and he won Apollo's forgiveness by presenting Apollo with the lyre which he had just invented, making it out of tortoise shell. Perhaps just a tortoise's shell. Perhaps there was some connection between that very early story of him and the fact that he was god of commerce and the market, protector of traders. In odd contrast to this idea, he was also the solemn guide of the dead, the divine herald who led the souls down to their last home. He appears often in the tales of mythology, more often than any other god. Young gods were often precocious, but no one so much as Hermes, Mercury, who 5 minutes after his birth snuck out of his crib and went searching for adventure. He toddled swiftly down the slope of Mount Silene until he came to a meadow where he saw a herd of beautiful white cows grazing. He saw no cowherd and decided to steal them. A tree full of crows began to seethe and whistle. They belonged to Apollo, to Apollo. But he paid them no heed. He plaited grass into shoes for the cows and fitted them over their hooves and drove them away silently. When Apollo returned, he was furious to see his cows gone, and even more furious when he searched for tracks and found none. Only odd sweeping marks on the ground. The crows chattered, "A baby stole them. Your brother, your brother." But this made no sense to Apollo. Besides, he did not trust crows. He did not know where to begin looking. He searched far and wide, but could find no clue. Then one morning, he passed a cave. He had passed 100 times before, but this time he heard strange, beautiful sounds coming out of it and from it. Sounds unlike anything he had ever heard before. And he looked inside. There, drowsing by the fire, was a tall, lovely titaness named Maia, whom he had seen before in the garden on Olympus. Sitting in her lap was a little baby boy doing something to a large tortoise shell, from which the strange sounds seemed to be coming. "Good day, cousin," said Apollo. "Are you to be congratulated on a new son?" "Hail, bright Phoebus," said Maia. "May I have the honor of presenting your half-brother, young Hermes?" "Half-brother, eh? Well, that's an honor. Without being a distinction, what's that he's playing with?" "He makes his own toys," said Maia proudly. "He's so clever you can't imagine. He made this out of an old shell that he strung with cow gut, and from it he draws the most ravishing sounds. Listen. Cow gut. May I ask what cow he persuaded to contribute her vital chords for his pastime?" I do not understand your question, cousin." "Understand this, cousin. I have had a herd of cows stolen recently. The crows told me they had been taken." "Taken by some baby, my brother. But I didn't believe them. I seem to owe them an apology." "What? cried Maya. "Are you accusing the innocent babe of being a cattle thief? For shame." "Mother, if you don't mind," said a clear little voice, "perhaps you'd better let me handle this." The baby stood on his mother's knee and bowed to Apollo. "I did take your cows, brother, but I didn't know they were yours. How could I have? They are quite safe, except for one. Wishing to begin my life with an act of piety, I sacrificed her to the 12 gods." "12 gods?" said Apollo haughtily. "I am acquainted with but 11. "Yes, sir," said Hermes, "but I have the honor to be the 12th. Above all things, I wish your goodwill, fair brother. So in return for this cow, allow me to make you a present, this instrument. I call it a lyre. I'll be glad to teach you to play." Apollo was enchanted with the trade. He stayed in the cave all that afternoon practicing his scales. As he was strumming his new toy, he noticed Hermes cutting reeds, which the child swiftly tied together, notched in a certain way, then put to his lips, and began to make other sounds, even more beautiful than the lyre could produce. "What's that?" cried Apollo. "What do you call that? I want that too." "I don't need any more cows," said Hermes. "I must have it. What else of mine do you wish?" "Your golden staff." "But this is my herdsman's staff. Do you not know that I am the god of herdsmen, and that this is the rod of authority?" "A minor office," said Hermes, "unworthy of the Lord of the Sun. Perhaps you would allow me to take over the chore. Give me your golden staff, and I will give you these pipes." Agreed. But since pipes and lyre together will make you god of music, I must have something to boot. Teach me augury. "You drive a hard bargain for a nursling," said Apollo. "I think you belong on Olympus, brother. This cave will not long offer scope for your talents." "Oh yes, take me there," cried Hermes. "I am eager to meet Father Zeus." So Apollo took Hermes, Mercury, to Olympus, and introduced him to his father, Zeus. Zeus was intrigued by the wit and impudence of the child. He hid him away from Hera and spent hours conversing with him. "You say you wish to enter the Pantheon," said Zeus. "But really, all the realms and powers seem to have been parceled out." "Father, I am of modest nature," said Hermes. "I require no vast dignities, only a chance to be useful, to serve you, and to dwell in your benign and potent presence. Let me be your herald. Let me carry your tidings. You will find me quick and resourceful, and what I can't remember, I will make up. And I guarantee your subjects will get the message." "Very well," said Zeus. "I will give you a trial." So Hermes became the messenger god, and accomplished his duties with such swiftness, ingenuity, and cheerfulness that he became a favorite of his father, who soon rewarded him with other posts. Hermes became patron of liars and thieves and gamblers, god of commerce, framer of treaties, and guardian of travelers. Hades became his client too, and called upon him to usher the newly dead from Earth to Tartarus. He kept a workshop on Olympus, and there invented the alphabet, astronomy, and the scales, also playing cards and card games. He carried Apollo's golden staff decorated with white ribbons, wore a pot-shaped hat, and winged sandals which carried him through the air more swiftly than any bird could fly. It was he who gave Zeus the idea of disguising himself and mingling with mortals when bored with Olympus. He joined his father in this, and they had many adventures together, which will be told in their place.